features.
Okay, I'm hitting record, but I'll pause.
So, good. So at this time, I will call our May 12th meeting to order. It is 4 p.m. Let's all stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
of
United
the
States of America,
United States of
and to the
America
republic for which it
and to the republic
one nation,
for which
under
it
God,
stands,
indivisible,
one nation, under God,
and justice.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Item 1.2, adopt the agenda. And I see that we are missing a board member, Barry and myself, not long ago, that she had a last minute personal issue that would prevent her from attending. And so we've done this for the last several meetings, tabling item 4.2, approval of the childhood vaccination requirements related to in-person instructional opportunities. Because it's, in my opinion, a very important issue, and that we need all 5 board members to participate in the discussion and a vote. And where in the past it was a different board member, but for the same reason, we did not proceed with dealing with that action item. So if everybody else is in agreement with that explanation and reason for, need a motion to amend the agenda dealing with item 4.2.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda, tabling item 4.2 until all board members are present.
Second the motion.
Is there a second? All right.
Who seconded that, Jerry?
I
Who
think it
seconded
was
that?
Bianca.
Bianca? Okay.
Bianca. Let me point out that this is the last time come June, and the first meeting in June, because it's comprised of mainly public hearings for items that we will vote on the following day, that no matter who is in attendance, we must deal with this issue because it has to be in place before the beginning of the next school year. Okay? Understood? Okay. All right. The consent agenda. Let me know if I'm not coming through very well, because I'll do what Sherry has done and just go to audio. The consent agenda, 2.1, consideration of approval of warrants and payroll from Northern United Humboldt Charter School. 2.2, consideration of approval of warrants and payroll for Northern United Siskiyou Charter School, batches 0411 and 0418. 2.3, consideration of approval of minutes for the April 7th and April 14th board meeting. 2.4, consideration of resignations, hires, leaves, and change of assignments. Is there any discussion or comments? Corrections? And if not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as posted.
I'll second that.
Is there a second? Okay. Am I mistaken, or is there no Melissa?
I'm here.
He's
Jay.
here.
Okay, okay. I just didn't see you showing up on the screen. All right. So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary,
Aye.
and I also approve. Motion carries. Item 3, public comments not on the agenda. Under this item, the public is invited to address the board regarding items that is brief and limited to 3 minutes. The board is not allowed under the law to take action on matters that are not on the agenda. Charge or complaint against an employee of Northern United Humboldt Charter School or Northern United Siskiyou Charter School. The board encourages that the speaker to utilize the school's written complaint procedure to pursue the matter. The public will have those items are heard. Are there any comments on non-agenda items that somebody would like to address? Nope.
Jerry, I just wanted to let you
go
know that you are kind of coming in on, at least on my screen, kind of like choppy. Some of your
All
words
right.
got slowed and taken away.
Okay.
No public comment
Okay.
from me though.
All right.
Melissa, that's the way
All
I'm
right,
hearing
moving
you as
on
well.
then. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Better. Let's see how it goes.
Better. Okay. It's just been one of those days. Action items be considered. To begin with, we have 4.1 to adopt the resolution S2022-1, resolution of the Northern United Charter Schools Board of Directors proclaiming a local emergency, ratifying the proclamation of its warning and authorizing remote teleconference. Are the conditions present to warrant continuing a Zoom board meeting?
They are.
If so, yes, they are. So we need a motion, just like the last time, stating that the conditions are present per the resolution. I guess that's sufficient. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to, I'm sorry, I kind of blinked. For the conditions, to adopt the resolution S2022-1 to teleconference for our board meeting.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary?
Aye.
I also approve. So we continue with our Zoom meeting. Moving on to item 4.3, approval of the Willow Creek Learning Center Shasta Lake Field Trip. Sherry, do you want to comment? Somebody?
You guys might remember that this was actually something that came to you a few months ago. Before they started planning it, they wanted to make sure that this would be something that the board would be willing to approve. Just, because of COVID things. So, and at that time, you signaled that it would be something that you would be willing to consider. And now it's time. And so the field trip, official field trip request is before you now.
Thank you, Sherry. Are there any questions or comments about the request and the itinerary as provided in our packet?
It sounds like they have it very well planned out, and it also looks like they're right in the middle of it as well.
Yes. Any other comments?
I just wondered if they
Is
are
there a
required.
motion? Go ahead.
I was just wondering if they were required, like I noticed that they'll be wearing their masks in the vehicles, and I kind of want to just check in with you guys if we are requiring masks, or I think we decided that they were just suggested, right? Just wondering.
Right. That was what was required at the time when they brought this for you, before.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the field trip proposal to Shasta Lake Campout.
I second the motion.
Is there a second? All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary,
Aye.
I also approve. Motion carries. 4.4, approval of the Bryceland Learning Center Santa Cruz field trip. You can see it in our packet. Sherry,
Not really anything to add other than what's in the background information. You guys know that overnight and out of county field trips come to the board for approval. I do see that Julia Anderson is on our Zoom in case you guys have any specific questions for her, but everything that's needed is here, the itinerary and the list of students attending, and all the chaperones and their phone numbers.
pretty well detailed and thorough.
Mhm.
Any questions or comments?
And it looks like
Is
another
there a
fun.
motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Bryceland Learning Center field trip.
I'll second it.
Is there a second? All
I'll
right, it's been
second
moved
that.
and seconded. All those in favor? It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary.
Aye.
I also approve, motion carries. Moving on to 4.5, approval of commercial lease agreement for 423 South Broadway, Wairika, Northern United Siskiyou Charter School, YLC.
So I included as many of the leases as I've gotten so far in an attempt to make it so that our June board meetings aren't too long. And we've got most of them, so I included them in this meeting. In the background sheets for each of them, I said whether or not it was an increase from current year or if it stayed the same. So this one here in particular, 423 South Broadway, is an increase of $150 per month. But other than that, it's the same. And
How much per month? I didn't catch you.
150 a month increase.
I appreciate you doing that, Sherry. That really helped.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the kind of the most important part to take note of.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the commercial lease agreement for 423 South Broadway, Wairika.
And I'll second that.
Is there a second? Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary,
Aye.
I also approve, motion carries. Moving on to 4.6, approval of lease agreement for 505 South Broadway, Wairika, Northern United Siskiyou Charter School, YLC.
This one was an increase of 200 per month.
Yeah. Cost of doing business. Any questions or comments?
Sherry, I was
Is there a
wondering,
motion?
do we know if they just plan to increase every year? Do we have it like projected somewhere or?
Some
Any
of
of
our
these?
leases do have that built in, like what percentage they're going to increase each year, like when it's a multi-year lease. But with these 1-year leases, there's no preset agreement for how much they're going to increase. It's just based on what the landlord sees as kind of the fair market value in terms of inflation.
Thank you.
And And I will say that these landlords in particular, like in Siskiyou, I was going to say in particular, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago, when we were facing some kind of fiscal uncertainty because we were getting basically IOUs from the state, they chose not to raise our rates for the year. You know, we went to them and told them the situation, and they did not raise our lease amount. So that was nice. I don't, you know, while it's never fun to have an increase, I don't think that this is unreasonable.
Mhm. Well, I'll make a motion to approve the lease for 505 South Broadway, Wairika for Northern United Siskiyou Charter School.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary,
Aye.
and I still approve. Motion carries. 4.7, approval of lease agreement for 1124 Pine Grove, Mount Shasta, Northern United Siskiyou Charter School, Mslc.
And this is for
Any
one of our Mount
comments?
Shasta facilities, and there is no increase on this one, which is nice. And we still need one more after, in June, you'll get the final Siskiyou lease. We've got 3 of the 4 on this board meeting.
Any comments or questions? All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 1124 Pine Grove, Mount Shasta, NUSCS Learning Center.
I'll second that.
Is there a second? All right, it's been moved and seconded.
He's frozen on my side.
Bianca,
Oh, okay. Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary.
Aye.
I also approve. Motion carries. Moving on to approval of lease agreement for 2020 Campton Road, Northern United Humboldt Charter School, the CLC.
This was a nice one to get because you guys know that we thought this past year was going to be our last year at this facility, but they've had a change in pastor, and so now they've offered us the same conditions of our existing lease for 2 more years, so no increase and 2 more years.
Yay.
That is good news.
Well, I'll
there a
make a
motion?
motion to approve
Are
it
there
before
any
they
oth-
change their mind. I'll make a motion to approve the lease agreement for 2020 Campton Road, Northern United Humboldt.
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary.
Aye.
I also approve. Motion carries. All right. 4.9, approval of lease agreement for 210 Lindley Road. Petroleum.
This
Uh,
one also has no increase.
That's good. Any questions? Comments? Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the lease agreement for 210 Lindley Road for NUHCS.
I'll second that.
All right, is there a second? Okay, it's been moved and seconded by Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary.
Aye.
I also approve, motion carries. 410, approval of the 2022-2023 Northern United Charter School pay schedules.
So this one definitely will
Classified and
require some, oh, sorry, Jerry, that I keep cutting you off. There's a lag, a time delay. And so I think you're done
Yes, I
talking.
know.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just finishing, reading the name of the item. So go ahead.
Okay, so the first document in the background sheets is what we currently have. That's the pay schedule that's in effect. The last time you saw it, you guys remember we increased the substitute teacher amount. So that's the current one. And then what we've done is we basically, because we've kind of run out of room, we separated certificated and classified onto two separate pages now, rather than having both on the same one. And the reason we ran out of room is because you guys know that we've been trying to increase the upper levels of our teachers. Our entry level teachers are really comparable to other schools, but the upper end, we weren't very comparable. And so what we've done is we took what we had before, the teachers part, and there were 10 rows, and we've increased it to 15 rows so that when someone stays with us, for a long time, they'll be getting more pay. They won't just be capped out at that row 10. So that's your change. Another change we did similar up at the top for the regional director and the psych and the counselor and the coordinator, we added columns. They did end with column, I think they ended with column 4. And so we added 2 columns there. And that's the major changes to the certificated. And then classified, we just added, we did a couple changes. We added the position behavioral support assistant. We added that onto the classified hourly employee. We did have that on our current one. That position is on our current one, but instead of having like columns, it was just one flat rate. You see it at the bottom, it was just $25 an hour. So we added it as a regular position with columns to move over. Another change that was done to the certificated one is we added a coordinator line up at the top where it says school psych and counselor. We also added a coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. You cut out, but I think we all picked it up.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We previously had a classified coordinator, but not a certificated coordinator. So that's why we added the certificated coordinator onto the certificated pay scale. I don't know. I think those are the major changes that I can think of off the top of my head. Linda, if I'm missing anything that you want to add, feel free to jump in.
I don't have the schedule in front of me, but aren't there 7 columns now for that top tier for certificated? Not
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, did I say 6?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sherry, I have some questions. Did I
Okay.
just interrupt Sherry? I hope not. On the proposed schedule for certificated, I see that the regional director is getting an increase, whereas the director and those below are not, unless I'm reading it wrong. Also, longevity stops it's capped at 10 years. Is that, my question is that normal or typical? And then moving on to classified, the behavioral support assistant with the current pay schedule, again, this is how I am interpreting this, is at $25 an hour, whereas a new person coming on starts at 19. Do we still have the same person? And finally, I think from my perspective, the classified folks are out of balance. Not that we can match classified and certificated, but I think that they are, for a lack of better terms, perhaps getting shortchanged at like 50 cents or 75 cents an hour.
Okay, we'll start with your number 1 and we'll work through.
Okay.
And you might have to remind me about, I'm on cold medicine, so you might have to remind me some of the questions. But I think the first one you said was the regional director was getting an increase, but the other lines weren't.
Right.
What we did is we got out the HCOE salary survey that they
Okay.
put out every year and compared positions, you know, like what our pay was
Right.
to other schools' positions, and tried to just make us really in line with what other schools were.
Exactly.
so-
And that's been our goal. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And so based on that, some of our positions were right on the money. In
Mhm.
fact, some of them we were like at the top of the pay,
Right.
and other positions we weren't.
Uh-huh.
And so that has a lot to do with where, why something changed versus didn't.
Okay.
Another thing that it played into it is where, and you asked this in regards to the behavioral support assistant, where our,
Yes.
current people were placed. Some of our people, if we didn't make a change, would have been maxed out, including
Okay.
like the behavioral support assistant. And we are keeping the same one. So we wanted some place for those people to go,
Right. Right.
which is why adding columns on.
Exactly. Okay.
So when we added columns on, it was often because people were maxed out, the people who were in those positions. And then when we changed like the dollar amounts within the columns, it's because we were trying to match where other schools were so that we could get in alignment with other schools and their positions.
Okay.
So I don't know if that answered those questions. And then on the, go ahead. Okay, and then the certificated one, I'm not sure I know exactly what you mean about people getting shortchanged 75 cents. You mean like they're not getting paid the same?
Well, no, your justification is explaining it in a clearer light to me. I was just concerned as to use Bianca's term, that it was a little bit wonky to me. Yeah, look at her smile. Yeah, that's your term. That it was just a little bit wonky that the classified were getting, like 50 cents an hour or 75 cents an hour. But you did explain explain that. And I do know that our philosophy has always been to be a little bit higher than others so that we could be able to attract perhaps long-term quality employees.
Absolutely, we're trying.
Mhm. And then if you are with our district for 11 years or beyond, there is no longevity as incentive for either classified or certificated, correct?
Yeah, and that's something that we could look at adding. That's not something we touched, that stayed the same from the current. And we certainly could, because we do want to reward those people who stay with us a long time.
Right, right. That might be something to look at. As we
what would your guys' recommendation be? Because it would not be difficult for us to add that. So, I mean, you see that there's a pattern happening. So
Right.
How far up should we go? Should we do a 15-year and then a 20-year or something like that?
Maybe at this point from 10 years, maybe from like 11 to 15 could be its own little block. And then say 15 to 20 moving, rather than moving every year, start grouping them together.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, after a certain point, the number of years, like Rosemary said, that's a reasonable approach.
Is that something you would like us to add now, or do you want us to just consider it the next time? And just so you know, no one is there. We don't have it because we've only been in operation 4 years. We're
Right.
not there yet. So it's
Right.
not like if we wait to do that, somebody's not getting.
Exactly. Exactly. So in my opinion, this is something that we can continue to move forward on if the group is interested. But like you said, we're not in a rush right now.
Okay.
And Rosemary, I just wanted to point out that on the old pay schedule for the classified hourly, there were only 50-cent increases and $1 increase for, I think, 2 or 1 of the positions. And we just thought that we should increase that to 75 cents per column,
Mhm.
just to keep it competitive.
Mm-hmm. And we want to be competitive, if not the leader. Thank you, girls, for clarifying my questions.
Are there any other comments or questions? If not, we'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2022-23 pay scales or schedules rather, for both classified and certificated.
I'll second that.
Uh-oh, Jerry just fell off.
Yeah, he's gone, isn't he?
Yeah, Bianca, do you want to just take over till he comes back on? I heard a first and a second.
Absolutely. So roll call, all those in favor of approving the 2022-23 NUCS pay schedule. Rosemary,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
and I also approve. Next item is 4.11, approval of the 2020 federal and state taxes for NUCS.
And this is something that didn't come out with your packet. I had to send it out later because we just got it from the auditor. He emailed it to me yesterday, dropped off the hard copy today. And this is just our tax filings. And as a nonprofit, we don't actually pay taxes, but we still have to file this form 990. It's both for the federal government and the California. And technically boards don't have to approve it. It just has to be presented, but I've always put it on here as an action item anyway.
Thank you, Sherry. Are there any questions or comments about Form 990?
No.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2020 federal and state taxes for NUCS.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor, Rosemary,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
and I also approve. And the motion passes. Next is 4.12, approval of declaration of need for NUSCS.
Okay, this is something that I present to you guys every year. You probably remember it. This item is for Siskiyou and the next item is for Humboldt. But basically what it is if you anticipate needing teachers that are not fully credentialed in the area in which you need them to be credentialed, before you can hire somebody else that has either an emergency credential or some other kind of special permit, you have to first have this form on file with the state. And it's called a declaration of need. And basically you're declaring that you're going to need somebody with either a special permit or an emergency credential. So we never know for sure if we're going to need something like this. So it's just kind of good practice to do this in advance, to have it in place just in case we do. And knowing that there's a teacher shortage, there's a really good chance that we could need somebody who is either like in an intern program or something like that. So this allows us to do that.
Thank you, Sherry. Are there any questions or comments? I have one. It says in the background that there may be two folks from Siskiyou. Can you speak to that, Sherry?
Yeah, and that is just strictly a guess.
Okay.
I mean, it says we might need 2 teachers with an English learner authorization. We don't even have any EL students in Siskiyou. So I don't know that we'll need 2. It's just purely a guess. And then the reason why I chose 2 for the multiple subject ones is because we are currently trying to hire 2 teachers. And so far haven't been able to find anybody. And so that's where I came up with 2 for that.
Okay. Jerry, are you back? I see his square there.
Jerry, you're muted. I don't know if you're trying to talk, but you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hear you now.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. So where are we?
We are on item 4.12. Sherry has gone
Okay.
over it and I've asked one question. There has not been a motion.
All right. So what the What was the conclusion of 410?
410 was passed unanimously.
Okay, so Linda knows that I temporarily left the meeting.
Yes.
All right, good. Just want to make sure of that. So,
Yes.
and I heard Sherry's explanation of the need in Siskiyou and hiring the teachers. So
Awesome.
are there any other comments of pertaining to item 13, 4.13?
4.12, we're on Siskiyou still.
Excuse me, 12, sorry. Get to that section here. Well, if there's not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the declaration of need for NU Siskiyou.
Is
And
there a
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary.
Aye.
I also approve, the motion carries. Moving on to 4.13. Approval of declaration of need, Northern United Humboldt Charter School.
Same background information, just for Humboldt. And this time I put 3 multiple subject teachers just because Humboldt is bigger, employs more teachers. So just in case.
Good. Any questions or comments? If there are none, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the declaration of need for NUHCS.
Second the motion.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Bianca,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
Rosemary.
Aye.
I also approve, motion carries. All right. Moving on to reports, 5.1, student enrollment and attendance. You can see that information in your packet. Any comments you want to make, Sherry?
Actually, yes. I wanted to thank you guys for pointing out last month the attendance percentages in Humboldt looking low.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Because we went back and reviewed and we ultimately found an error in attendance reporting that we were able to correct. And so this new sheet reflects that updated correction with the attendance in Humboldt.
That's really excellent. That's good. Any comments about that?
Glad to see it.
Yes. All right. Moving on to 5.2, the financial report. Reports for Northern United Humboldt Charter School and Northern United Siskiyou Charter School. Anything need to be said about that or questions?
I have nothing to report on that one.
Okie dokie. Moving on to 5.3, the director's report. Sherry.
Okay, I'll be quick. I only have a few things to address. I see the smirks on people's faces when I say I'll be quick. So the June board meeting dates, I just wanted to confirm that Thursday, June 16th at 4 o'clock is confirmed. Friday, June 17th at noon. I've heard back from all but one board member that noon works. So, and it's Amy. I was hoping to confirm with her tonight that that was going to be okay, but she's not here to do that. So that's all I'm waiting on there. So as soon as I find out, I'll let you know. I just wanted to mention our graduations in Siskiyou. It'll be Sunday, June 5th at 3 o'clock at College of the Siskiyous Theater in Weed, and in Humboldt, Wednesday, June 15th at 2 o'clock at the CR Theater. WASC update. We received our official letter from WASC saying that we got our 6-year accreditation for Siskiyou with a mid-cycle update. So congratulations to Kirk for working so hard on that WASC report. That was a great accreditation letter. Humboldt, unfortunately, the chair of the Humboldt committee did not submit the report in time for the April WASC commission meeting. And they don't meet again until June 27th and 28th. So for Humboldt, we won't know our accreditation status until July. And then I wanted to say that yesterday I found out I wrote a grant for both Humboldt and Siskiyou, a community schools grant. And I found out yesterday that we were awarded it. And so that's $200,000 for each school. So that's exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention is last night was a very special night because our own Julie Smith was honored with the Jean Olson Career Achievement Award. And because of my stupid COVID, I wasn't able to go to the award ceremony, but it was recorded and I watched the video last night, and Rebecca did an amazing job of giving a speech and honoring Julie. And then of course, Julie went up and gave a speech, and there was a video and photos of Julie's time in education. And you guys know she's retiring this year. And so it was really a special honor and very well deserved. So I just wanted to publicly acknowledge that here while she's on with us. Congratulations, Julie.
Thank you, Sherry. Rebecca, thank you so much. Like I said, you made me cry. It was very special. I feel very honored.
Well deserved.
Thank you, Rosemary.
And that's all I had.
Okay. So moving on to 5.4, Northern United Humboldt Charter School report. You can see the lovely report in our packet, you know, all the wonderful photos of the roadie parade and so on. So
And your umbrella, Gary, because it was such a terrible day.
yeah, I know. Well, fortunately, yeah, it was just the way it worked out.
Yeah.
Mother Nature. Any comments, questions about the report? Excellent job, by the way. You know, you set a standard, and this is what we will come to expect every month. So moving on to Northern United Siskiyou Charter School report. As you can see in your packet, very well done, you know, very well itemized as to activities, documented with photos. Excellent job. Any comments or questions?
Jerry, I just wanted to mention one other thing because I'm not 100% sure if I've said it or not, that Northern United Humboldt Charter is having a prom on May 21st, Saturday, May 21st.
Oh, wow.
At the Warfinger.
Is this a first time thing?
No, but it's the first time since COVID.
Okay, yeah, right. Well, that makes sense. Dang COVID.
I have a question about the prom. Last prom that was held, I believe it included Alder Grove maybe and our Arcata Learning Center. Is that going to be the case this time?
It's a school prom, so it includes Eureka Learning Center, Arcata Learning Center, Independent Study, any of our enrolled high school students.
All right,
And
okay.
they are allowed to invite a date or, you know, a guest. Our
Uh-huh.
students can bring a guest, so they can be from another school. But it's not like we're not doing a shared prom with another school. It's
Got it.
our school's prom, but our students can bring somebody from another school.
Can I say something, Sherry?
Go
Sure.
ahead.
I think it's amazing that it seems like this is going to become institutionalized. And that means, you know, obviously that it will be annually, and that's going to be amazing. I am so happy for that.
As you should be. I mean, and, you know, traditional high schools, I mean, this is an event that is very much looked forward to. So why not us?
And
It's a grand opportunity.
our kids are over the moon. I mean, they're showing they're showing us their dresses, and you know, I mean, they're over the moon. So it should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Very good. Anything else?
Throwing out a kind of wild hair here. I don't think we've ever done a prom here in Siskiyou, but maybe we could invite in future Siskiyou high schoolers to go to the Arcata prom if they wanted to take a voyage. Might be kind of fun.
That would be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even though we're two different counties, we're still this, you know, same charter school.
And we're so small over here, it would probably only be a handful of people that wanted, you know, it would kind of be fun to commingle with the other school.
Certainly. I mean, it's something that could be looked into and planned way in advance. And so with, you know, willing people, maybe staff members, you know, to caravan to Humboldt, you know, for this occasion, you know, it's something that could be considered. Certainly. Okay, anything else? Thanks for that, bringing that up, Melissa. So we can move on to 5.6, a board report. Let's start with Bianca. Do you have anything to report or a status report?
I don't have anything to report this month.
All right. Melissa?
I guess I just wanted to say it's nice to see you guys all again. And Bianca, I hope everything is coming together nicely for you. And also Sherry, I hope that you're healing well. It sounds like you're doing pretty well from how, you know, your vocals and everything. And I'm just glad to be here with you guys. And I apologize that we've had to put off some of our agenda items, but I appreciate, you know, getting together and getting that done soon. Look forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Rosemary.
I just have one comment. It pertains to the bingo ice cream social
Rosemary.
this week. And
Oh,
my
man.
sources tell me they had a fantastic time and would like to see it more often, perhaps twice a year. I think you know who my sources are, Rebecca.
We'll definitely have to have popcorn back if we do it twice.
Oh,
Um,
there we go.
Maybe it's
Yes, we
on my
will.
end, but I only heard just a few words of what Rosemary said.
I heard most of it.
I got it also.
Okay.
So now, Jerry, it's your turn.
You probably won't be able to hear me.
We hear you.
Okay, it's just, I guess it's just one of those days. Many things have converged on a 4 o'clock Northern United Charter School Board meeting. You know, different issues. I don't have anything specific to report other than Sherry and Julie. I'd be interested in attending the graduation, as I have done before in my role as chairperson of the board. Maybe Rosemary will be able to attend this year. I too am glad, although in the beginning I could see people and then had to switch to just audio, which apparently is not working very well either. To see everyone, you know, back together with everything that's gone on. There's been quite a bit going on with all of us, with maybe the exception of Rosemary, but you know, Sherry in a state of COVID. Bianca's life experience, Melissa's as well. My shoulder surgery, you know, just different things, but we're pretty resilient, and we'll get through this. We'll, you know, we're racing towards the conclusion of the school year, and it'll all come together. And as Sherry did forewarn us, which has been common in the past, the second day of the board meeting in June is long because of all the business that we have to approve of, setting the stage for the following school year. So anyway, that's all I'll have to say. So at this point, we can this is the transition between open session to closed session. And so in our closed session, we're going to address technically public employee performance of our charter director. And before we do the official transition into closed session, The public is invited to address the board regarding the item that is on the closed session agenda. If there are anybody that would like to comment, please limit what you have to say to 3 minutes, and remind everyone that the board is not allowed under the law to take action on matters that are not on that agenda. So are there any public comments pertaining to the closed session item? No?
Just one thing. I'm going to get off of here. But I'm going to say one thing.
Which I can't hear. I heard the just one thing
We couldn't do this.
and a laugh.
We couldn't do this without Sherry. We have a great leader. We have a great leader, and our school is amazing, and we couldn't do it without her. And I just can't say enough good about our program, our school, our organization, our employees, but it starts from the top, and she's amazing. And that's all I have to say. And you know, because I'm going out, I get to say those things right now. So I'm going to do it, right? Kirk is smiling. I get to say those things. And you guys know me to be pretty open about a lot of things, but you know, my time at Northern United Humboldt Charter School has been made amazing. And that's mainly because of the people that I work with and work for. So I'm so proud of our organization, and I'm so proud of Sherry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Are there any other comments?
I'll second everything Julie said.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, so at this time, Linda, it's 5:08. We'll adjourn from open session into closed session.
And Jerry, you're muted, just so you know.
There we go. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm back. I am to, I have nothing to, well, actually, we met in closed session, dealing with the performance of the charter director. There's no action taken. And we're convening, we convened back into open session at 6:28. Sherry, if you're taking notes.
Yep,
for
I am.
Linda.
I'm actually writing it in an email to Linda as we speak.
Okay, so at this moment, we're reconvening into open session. The next item 8, next board meeting, 8:1, possible agenda items. The public hearings for the LCAPs and the budgets, that will be the first day. And we're going to put on the vaccination policy. And please, everybody know that no matter as long as we have a quorum, we're going to address that item. That's it's pretty cut and dry for the first one in June, right, Sherry?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And, remember
And-
that I won't be there. Kirk will be doing the LCAP for Siskiyou and Julie for Humboldt.
That's right. And 8.2, the next board meeting dates, the 16th and 17th. The second one, the 17th, will be the long one, which is traditional. We have a lot of things that we have to take action on and approve. Correct, Sherry?
Yes, though not as bad now that we did so many leases today.
Yeah, that's good. And thank you for that. So with that, then it's 6:32, and I'll adjourn this board meeting. So thank you.